Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be the weekend reading for the water signs. So anyone with prominent Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces placements in your birth chart, this is the reading for you for the weekend of June 23rd, 2023. I do want to go over the astrology real quick before we go into the cards. And just to remind you to like the video if you were able to gain any insight or perspective from today's reading. I would really appreciate it. And then also subscribe to the channel if you're interested to see more of my readings or more of my videos. I would love to have you there as well. All right, so for the weekend starting Friday, which is today, the 23rd, we do have a Moon-Saturn opposition. So the Moon will be in Virgo, opposed Saturn in Pisces, retrograde. And this is going to bring a little feeling of confliction, restriction, or limitation of some sort. So you may have some sort of conflict with authority or a responsibility or obligation that you have today. And it's just an overall feeling of like getting out of it and breaking free from it. You're very over it, like you're not interested in it. Maybe you're bored of it. And it's that feeling of I just don't want to do it, right? But there is a sense of responsibility here. So it feels like it is a task that comes up today where you know, maybe you felt that it was going to be a smooth sailing day, and then all of a sudden this task pops up and it's like, shoot, like now I have to get this done and I really don't want to do it, right? So there's, again, that conflict there with the situation or with the people in authority around you. But later on throughout the day, the moon leaves from that aspect and then it hits Jupiter. So we're going to have a Moon in Virgo trine Jupiter in Taurus transit. And this particular energy is about taking some sort of action. And so I just feel as though it's going to help us snap out of the energy that we were in with the conflict, right? When we were having this conflicted situation happening earlier. I think it is just more of a mental game at that point when the moon trines Jupiter and that comes in. It's sort of a moment during the day where we just snap out of it and just understand that, hey, this is something that we have to do. Let's just get it done and get it over with instead of making it harder on ourselves by resisting it, right? Because with the moon trine Jupiter, usually this brings an element of self-understanding or some sort of emotional growth. So maybe we will see ourselves acting out or being resistant to this thing when maybe it's not that big of a deal. And there's really no need to do so, right? So, yeah. So at that point, you know, once the moon hits Jupiter, we should be smooth sailing from there, get the thing done and move on. On Saturday, nothing really is happening except for the fact that we are preparing for the Mars square, excuse me, Mars square Uranus aspect. So this is Mars in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. So this is going to bring some sort of explosive energy. You may be feeling really strong-minded Saturday into Sunday, especially on Sunday. There's an element of telling others where you stand, speaking your mind, being brash, not really having any regard for how people feel about whatever it is you stand for or whatever it is you're saying. There's a sense of doing what we want, like having a really, really strong urge to do something that we really want to do that may go against, you know, society rules or family rules or something like that. So there's a really strong detached and impersonal feeling here as well. I would just say that if you feel all of this energy, it's I don't know if you've ever felt this before. I'm sure you have, but it's like when you have a like when the energy is just building up, right? Like you have a build up. Maybe you've been dying to say something to someone, or, you know, do take some sort of action on something, but you haven't been able to, and it's just sort of eating you up. And you feel really strongly about the situation, and then all of a sudden it just explodes, right? And you just start talking and you say all the things, or you know, like you have this burst of energy and you are taking action and making moves and stuff like that. Like you just kind of over it, you know? Like I'm tired of doing what everyone wants. I'm tired of being what everyone wants. Like this is me, this is who I am, and I'm going to do it. I don't care what you think about it type of energy. So if you don't have a productive, safe, you know, place to exert this energy, I would just think about that, you know, beforehand or something, if you can, you know, try to express it in more creative ways, if possible, instead of, you know, maybe creating conflict of some sort with others, because that can happen for sure with this type of energy. So you want to be careful with conflicts or accidents, or regret, you know. Like, I mean, once this energy is over and you were able to express everything that you were holding in, and you reflect on it the next day, you may regret some of the things that you said, right? So it's just, I would love to say all day, like, be mindful, but with this type of energy, depending on how it's playing out in your life and in your birth chart, there might be, like, there might be no way for you to be mindful. Like, it'll just explode. So, you know, just something to think about. Alrighty. So that is the energy for the weekend. Thank you so much for listening to that. Let's go into the cards. Let me know in the comments how it plays out. I'm super interested to know that. What is the personal energy for the water signs for Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces for the weekend of June 23rd, 2023, please? Okay, we have the 7 of Cups. So there's some options for your weekend. So you're trying to decide what to do, where to go, how to do something, plan something out. You want to get started on a little project maybe. You have a little inspiration to get working on something. I feel heavy creativity right now for the water signs. I just feel like that moment where you're completely integrated and involved or meshed in some sort of artistic pursuit or creative pursuit, and you're just like, yeah, like meshed in, like completely present and sunken in to your art or to this creative source. If you feel, and I know that this is common with the water signs, like sometimes we just build up this energy. Maybe we don't know where it's coming from and we don't know how to express it, but we end up being like, I call it fussy, but you know, just a built up of energy where we have this anxious feeling to express and release, right? That is your indicator to start working with your hands. That's your indicator to create something. So even if you're not too artistic or you don't dive into that, maybe you've never thought of it that way before, but there is a need for water signs especially, or anybody with prominent water energy in their chart, to release the buildup of energy, because we bring in, right? We're constantly bringing in energy from our surroundings and our environment and others, and we're not even conscious about it, right? Like it's just a continuous thing. And so sometimes if we cannot release it, it just gets built up. And then you just have that fussy feeling. And I think that this also coincides with the Mars square Uranus aspect this weekend. But it doesn't feel too negative. It just feels more a built up of energy that needs to be released into something. But yeah, you may have some options, may have different, you know, plans that you want to do, but you don't know which one to pick. There's just like a yearning or some sort of like feeling to start something or to buy something or get something of material value as well. Maybe you're shopping. Yeah, I feel that too. Like, be careful with overspending, especially if you have this built up of energy and you don't know where to take it out on, you know. Do some exercise. Go get in the water. All right, so what is in the environment? So the Justice card is in the environment. So something in your environment needs balance. You need to balance something out in your life. Some part of your life needs balance. There's excess in one direction, either too little of it or too much of it. And the Strength card. Maybe you feel a little weak. Maybe there's something in your life that is your weakness, and the balance is out of whack with this thing, and you need to really strengthen your emotions about it and your thoughts about it, so that way you can start to balance this thing out, because it just seems a little excessive. There's something in your environment that, like I said, is a little excessive, is not balanced. Someone or something in your environment also is asking for fairness. Let's see what other details come up. I'm not getting too much from these two cards except for that. It's like they're action cards, but not at the same time, you know? Like, it's a concept more than anything. But at the same time, in order to create balance and have strength, there's some sort of action that needs to be taken, right? To get those things. Communicate with whoever this is. Come to some sort of compromise, solution. Be brave enough to tell the other person where you're coming from or how you feel about a situation if you have the opportunity. It just feels like maybe you have not spoken your truth, and for some sort of fear, whether consciously acknowledged or not, there is a fear around some part of your truth or authenticity as it relates to a certain situation in your environment. Like, you're not coming across truthful, but it doesn't feel malicious. It feels like you just are silent, or, you know, you hold things in and you don't really speak about things. Or like, if this is a relationship or another person, doesn't have to be romantic, but if this is a relationship or another person, it's like you will not speak about yourself. You're not talking about what you want or what you like or how you feel in this relationship dynamic. Like, you're the type that maybe usually keeps it to yourself and doesn't open up about those things. And I feel that strongly here. Like, there's reflecting on what you want, how you feel in this dynamic, but not talking about it. So therefore, where does that come from? Does it come from a fear of opening up and feeling rejected or feeling like somebody isn't going to care? Or, you know, is there a self-worth issue here where you feel like it doesn't matter what you say or what you do? Like your needs and wants are not priority. So therefore the imbalance here. And a need to create some sort of balance. Okay, let's go into the rest of the weekend, get some details. How are the water signs going to start their weekend, please? All right, so you have the Scorpio card here, King of Cups. Very loving, very emotional. I was going to say sensitive, but not usually. Sensitive in their reactions, or your reactions maybe. There's something that makes you feel, I don't know, like down or down and out, or like this is too much, I gotta get out of here, this is too much, I gotta go. I'm gonna gather my things and go because I can't deal with this anymore type of feeling. It's too hard, it's too, it like weighs on you. It's a little burdensome. Maybe you're connecting with yourself and you're having a conversation with yourself about this situation that is just not working out for you anymore. And you're coming to terms with that. There's another Scorpio card, the Death Rebirth. Yeah, very much so an ending of some sort. An ending that feels guided by the universe. An ending that feels like it's time to go. It's time to do this thing. It's been played out. It's taken its course. Like enough is enough. Got the Moon. So Pisces Cancer card here. There's something that's unknown. There's some silence. Maybe you're making moves in silence. You're not speaking about the decision that you just made or that you're thinking of making. Again, same concept as I was speaking about here in the environment. You're just coming to terms with what you want. You're coming to terms with what you want out of a situation and what you don't want out of a situation. And you're strengthening and balancing your emotions, your mind, your spirit, aligning them together to make this move. Like checking in. Spirit, right? Does this feel right to you or not? Checking in. Heart, emotions, does this feel right to you or not? Checking in. Mind, right? Does this feel right to you? And so aligning them all together, like getting the okay from the different aspects of yourself. That way you are confident that this is the right decision. And the decision that you have come up with is to leave a situation. Yeah, for emotional fulfillment. Like at the end of the day, you're looking for fulfillment. Emotional love, peace, harmony. Also, Cancer, Pisces card down here. I understand that making this type of move can be really hard for someone to do. I get it. And it doesn't go without thinking of all the different aspects of a situation. And I don't know if this is you or someone else, but someone feels really guilty about something. If this is you feeling guilty that you're going to leave a situation, you got to think about, again, checking in with yourself. Your soul and spirit, your heart, your mind already told you that they are on the same page, and this is what is needed for the benefit of their person, which is you, right? Like, it's like wishing things were different. Someone feels stuck, or like in a, like sucked in or pulled in to a situation with someone else. Like they can't get out. It doesn't feel, I mean, the devil is here. It just feels a little bit more like you're under a spell. There's a person that is really charming, enticing, that you like, that you feel connected to in some way. You want to ask yourself what that connection is about. Sometimes we are connected and pulled into people from a place of almost like trauma bonding, or like we think it's like mystical and magical, like it's coming from the universe or whatever, but when you're in it, it's not. It's like more lessons than anything else, you know. Like there is a pull, there is a connection, and you are magnetized and guided to this person. But when you're in it, there's something about it that creates, like, that just brings out these darker, heavier parts of you. This weekend can be just a heavy, serious, more depth, emotional tone. I mean, it's not uncommon for water signs, like, in their daily life. So it doesn't matter if it's the weekend or not, right? Like, this is a day in the life of a water sign. Yeah, there's like a need to connect with your higher self. There's so much internal, spiritual, intense passion, deep work here, deep feelings. I feel like you know that this person brings out these darker sides of you. I feel like you know that this person is probably not the best, and, you know, like there's something that you know about them. Like you can see their tactics. You can see how they work. You understand them. I think that you stay quiet about it for the most part. With the moon and the high priestess, there's probably not a lot of communication. It's like connecting with feeling, connecting through feeling, connecting through intuition. Needing to connect to yourself. Needing to stay in communication and in touch with your higher self throughout this process. It's like this person comes off, I don't know, these two people, like, today look like the same person. So this person comes off one way in the 3D, but is another, it's another thing completely different, like, internally. I don't know how it's making me feel right now. Whatever this situation is, it usually has you in some type of anxious mentality, like overthinking something. You overthink the situation Maybe there's a little bit of manipulation that happens here. And I think that you know that there's some manipulation. There's some tactics that happen here. You know this. And maybe the anxiety or the overthinking comes from the fact that you know it and you still indulge in it in some way. I would just go back to how you're feeling at the beginning of the weekend and remember that feeling of like, I know that I need to get out of this. I know that even though I am deep and I am intense and I am passionate and I am these things, it still feels shitty most of the time, right? So remember that shitty feeling. At the root of it, you want to feel love and emotional fulfillment here. And you know better. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, of course, just giving you some advice, but like, you know better, you know? If it's making you feel shitty, you don't really like it. Let's see what this energy is. Clarify the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. Same card. I need to change it. I need to get out of this. Get out of this anxiety, overthinking, guilt, shame, regret. High Priestess again. Page of Wands. Yeah. You know better. You know that this person is just a Page of Wands here. Like, not only is the situation and the person making you feel this way, but it's yourself as well. Like, again, I just keep hearing, like, you know better, you know? There's a need to change this and transform this feeling. What is this? Someone in control, someone who has power and control over you in some way. An Emperor and the Devil. Jeez Louise. Water sign. If this is you, are you the Emperor and the Devil? I don't know, because I keep reading it from the other perspective. A water sign can also have these types of tendencies. But I don't think it's you. But it's definitely someone who has control and power over another. Uses their charm. Maybe they seem to be interested in the things that you're interested in, or they pretend or have conversations that they know you like to have. I'm feeling that strongly because there's like manipulation here. So that way you can stay in contact and stay connected. Is it real? Is this a real connection? The Devil is here. Is it real or is it made up? Is it constructed by somebody? I feel that really strongly right now. Ooh, and I mean, that could be another reason why, like, you know this is, like, you indulge in this thing, you allow yourself to sink into it, but is it real? You know? Therefore, maybe you know that there's an element of fakeness here, and it's being constructed. It's a setup, like a movie, or like a pretend, or I don't know. Going back to you know better. You know when these types of connections are real and when they're not. And if you're indulging in it, it's because it's the type of connection you like. I also feel like you're doing your part, though. That's why I was like, is this you or not? Like, I do feel that. Like, you are also doing your part to indulge in this and to construct this as well. But at some point throughout this process, it just becomes like too much and you just want to get out of it. So maybe this is one of those weekends where you're conflicted around staying or going. The Strength card again. So we have a lot of repeating cards here. Yeah. I would just step back. Go, you know, like try your best to detach from the situation and from the person and have a visit with yourself. Talk to yourself about what you want and out of the situation, how does it make you feel, all that good stuff. And then remember that decision and that feeling and go from there, whether you stay or go. But I mean, instead of being conflicted, you know, and this thing kind of driving you a little crazy, it's not easy to get out of something like this. I understand, especially for a water sign, because we want to feel, you know, we want to experience, we want to challenge how much we can handle. We want to challenge like anything really. We usually like, how can I say this? Like keep something around in an effort to see how much we can endure, or keep something around because it's not just about the other person constructing this situation and manipulating this situation. It's also this thing around like, you know that this is happening and you keep it around to keep it close, to watch it, to be over it, you know, to see it, to see how other people are, to see how other people are with you. I don't know. It's like a sense of power. It's like you like, yeah, like this thing of, I'm going to indulge in this and keep this around and play with this and get whatever I can out of it from a emotional feeling, like perspective. Like how much can I endure? How much shit, how much mess or drama or conflict or, you know, whatever can I handle? But at this, I don't know, it's this weird play between that and like doing it because it's powerful. It's powerful. Like you feel like you see it all happening and you're above it. Even though you're in it, you're still above it. And yeah, it's like the puppet master in a way. Which the puppet master here. I don't know that if I don't think I was able to explain what I was feeling there the best, but there is a sense of power and control. Like, you know that this is probably not the best thing for you. You know that the connection here is probably, there's an element of it being fake and constructed, but you're still in it and you're still playing with it to, I don't know, to see what you can get out of it, or to see your own strengths, your own power, your own vision. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, so that is the reading for the weekend of June 23rd, 2023. It's a little deep here, water sign. I have no advice, just the fact, like, get away from the situation for a little bit and come to terms with yourself and just really be like, what am I doing, you know, and why am I doing this as well? Because, I mean, you can be in this for a long time if you don't do that. So just kind of come to terms with yourself. Anyway, if you were able to get anything out of this reading, please like it and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing the July zodiac sign readings, and I'm going to start them this week coming up. So watch out for those so you can check those out. But until then, have a good one. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.